Hello, and thank you for joining today's Family Office Network's webinar series. We are extremely excited to have Andrew Schneider, founder and CEO of Family Office Networks, joining us today to discuss the FON Series A capital raise launch. Andrew founded Family Office Networks in 2012 after his experience in running his own family office. Early on, he recognized the importance of having a small community of peers to share transactions, service providers, funds, and ideas with, and has since created the largest network of family offices within his company. Andrew is also a leading authority regarding hedge funds and related services, as he was founding member of HedgeCo Networks. HedgeCo Networks provides consulting services to both new and existing hedge funds. He was responsible for overseeing more than 7,000 hedge funds, and the community consisted of over 40,000 members. Now, Andrew heads Family Office Networks, which has multiple dynamics, operating as a networking, fintech, and media company through its different branches of the FON Marketplace and the FON Magazine. Andrew, again, we are so excited for you to join us today. I will let you get started.
Thank you, Lindsay, and thank you everyone for making it to this presentation. I'd like to actually take a step back because over the last few years, the term family office has kind of evolved or erupted into so many different meanings. And you know, family offices go back thousands of years and even hundreds of years with the J.P. Morgans, the Rockefellers. You know, these were the original family offices. And then as you got to the .com and even the social media, you're having, you know, millionaires and billionaires printed overnight. So if they don't have some type of infrastructure, worrying about their taxes, about their just structure, you usually see a lot of just poor mistakes. So just to give you an idea of what we do, it's important for me to give, for those of you that don't know me, just a quick background about myself. I'm from New York. Probably you can tell from my voice, and I moved down to Florida about 20 years ago, right after 9/11. I came out of Prudential Securities and Morgan Stanley. I founded a company called HedgeCo Networks. I created the largest hedge fund database where hedge funds would report their monthly performance numbers, and I had a built-in hedge fund calculator that would do all the quantitative stats like the Sharpe, beta, alpha, gamma, delta, rolling 12, etc. And at the peak, I was very lucky. This was late 90s, early 2000. Hedge funds, it was like a gold rush. The only difference between myself and everyone I know is I chose not to start a hedge fund. I chose to help hedge funds get set up. And I saw so many just start, go out of business, start up again, go out of business. So I chose not to manage money, but to use my skill set, which is introducing qualified people to products. HedgeCo did very well. I sold my interest, 9 years ago, sorry, 10 years ago. And I started my own family office, the Schneider family office. From there, I've been in Palm Beach for close to 20 years. I know all the family offices in the Palm Beach area. So I started doing just some local events for family offices in the Palm Beach area. And for the sake of this, we'll say demonstration, I would like to just quickly define a family office and a high net worth investor as I define it. A family office, we have about 4,000 to 6,000. A family office to me is someone that's got some type of infrastructure managing the family assets as well as other parts. And we have about 4,000 or 5,000 on our technology platform. Then we have what I consider the hardest thing to get to, ultra high net worth. Ultra high net worth are 5 to 500 million net worth. But as far as we know, they are the decision makers. The family offices are typically 50 to 500 million. We don't care about the billion-dollar ones because if you're trying to raise 5, 10, 20 million, it's a waste of time. So our niche is raising money for companies between 25 million valuation to 100 million. Our sweet spot, we only deal with ultra high net worth and family offices. Again, I've been doing this for 25 years. I've raised money for over 500 or so different, different products, and that came from over 2,000 separate LPs. So, and that only came from ultra high net worth and family offices. So, when I sold my company and started my family office, I saw just a big disconnect between family offices in Palm Beach, family offices in New York, in Spain, London. Everyone was trying to get access to them, but there was no way. There's no, yellow pages. Some people would sell a list, but you can't just cold call a family office. So I built family office networks that allows family offices to share ideas, to co-invest, just to meet other like-minded individuals, and then to start cross-marketing, luxury products, other financial service products, and other asset management products. And I started the company about 7 years ago. We have a large anchor investor. It's the second largest Canadian bank. They own about 20% of my company. And we are doing a raise, and I'd like to just give you a quick demo of what our company is, how we make money, and kind of the future of what we're doing. So when and I gotta say, for anyone that's known me, this is the first time I've ever used a slide. When I describe family office networks, a lot of people sometimes get confused because we have a lot of different divisions, moving parts, but they all have the same reason: increasing distribution. Most of the groups I dealt with would go to family offices and offer investment products. I saw that that was not a good way. You need to introduce luxury, philanthropy, build relationships. That's how you get access to family offices. And so that's the route that I took. So number one is, and when I describe family office networks, we have 4 divisions. Number one, and I would say first and foremost, we are a media company, a family office media company. I don't know anyone that does what we do. Most of the content is our own, and others are third-party content. Now, this FON newsletter, that's been going out for 7.5 years, every Thursday at 4 o'clock. We have tremendous readers and just great quality. The luxury magazine has been going out for 5.5 years. That goes out every Saturday. And again, the reason I tied luxury and philanthropy was in order to increase my distribution. You can't keep going to a family office with an investment. You got to try other things. And that's what I've done. So next part is, as I said, we're a media company. We also have our own luxury magazine. We're on our 6th copy. These are all printed and an online version. And when I say they're top of the line, any of you that have a copy, everything here is top of the line. What I chose to do with this was not to put any finance articles, meaning the only types I put in, are you interested in investing in a sports team or something that is esoteric, let's say. And but I'm focusing on yachts, private aviation, cars, art, because that's how you get access to also other members of the family that don't care about the finance. And this is how you build the relationships. The magazines come out quarterly. We have been doing this, we have our 6th edition. We have some of the most incredible content. And I urge all of you that are watching this to log on and to or to call me, and I'll send you a free hard copy of the magazine. This is FON Media. Again, as I say, we've been doing events for, I could think maybe 10, 12 years. What I do differently than, and some people ask, am I similar to Richard Wilson or someone that throws these big conferences of hundreds or thousands of people? No one knows who's real. Usually it's about an 8 or 12% ratio of family offices to people looking to sell them something. And the events we do are always smaller, but we're very strict in who we let in. And so I did probably close to 400 or 500 events all over the world, mostly in high-end places, art galleries, polo, people's houses. And that's how you really get to build relationships. If you are trying to just sell something, this is not the audience you want to go to. So again, not only are we a media company, but 1 out of every 3 news articles that come out on the family office industry is originated by us. So we control, in essence, the content because we do surveys with our families, so we're able to get results and publish them. The next part, so out of the 4 divisions, the next part of family office networks is strategic partnerships. And when I say strategic partnerships, what I'm simply talking about is anything non-broker dealer related, where we're able to share in fees that are compliant. So for example, we have an agreement with T0 that we get 20% of their fees, luxury providers, research group, people like technologists. There's so many groups that are non-broker dealer that we're open to doing partnerships with, and where we can share in fees. It's completely legal and kosher. Again, as long as it's not a security. If it's security, we go through my broker dealer. And so, again, this company I created is really meant for a lot of different reasons. First off, it's meant for people family offices that are looking for a good deal flow. Doing this for 25 years, I came out of Morgan Prudential, and I've met thousands of millionaires and billionaires. And believe it or not, they don't get shares of new issues or all these pre-IPOs. They're shopping around for what I call the new thing, these asset management groups that are really multifamily offices. Now, I thought family office was a vague term. Multifamily office is probably the most vague term I've ever heard. If someone says they're a multifamily office, the first thing I ask is, are you an RIA? Meaning that on one side of the spectrum, a multifamily office was designed to manage money for other single family offices because they had the built-in infrastructure. Then other groups started taking it to the other extreme, like a lot of these accounting firms that do everything but the asset management business. So it's different approaches, and But again, we do a lot in the luxury research. There's so many different products. As long as it's not broker, that we would be happy to do some type of fee sharing, and I would welcome that opportunity. Family office, fintech. This is really the main reason that we are doing a raise, and I think you can't ignore this at this point. You've seen almost every industry that I can possibly think of that have benefited from the internet and the growth of technology. One of them that's still kind of in a antiquated system is our monetary system. And you're seeing a record amount of money going into fintech companies. In 21, $38.5 billion. And FON is positioned as one of the only fintech companies serving the family office sector. So most of my competitors, they have, let's say, a decent platform, but they have no distribution. I say it again, they have no distribution. So why would someone want to license or white label it if they're not getting, and I'll show you what you get by working with us. So to me, fintech is extremely important, especially the way deals are being done. So when I designed this, my goal was that you can invest in a private placement online. I'll show that to you in a second, where it simplifies the process. This is my I'm going to show you a better, the technology platform. But I built this technology platform. It has access to ultra high net worth people, family offices. It has, you can see the names, their net worth, liquid net worth, income, real estate. This guy owns an aircraft and a yacht. We have about 70,000. These are ultra high net worth people. These are people that I've been working with for years and years. So this is our technology division, which I'm going to take 5 minutes after, just give you a quick demo of our platform. And then the last component of family office networks is I own 20% of a broker dealer. And without having a broker dealer, a lot of this just doesn't work because the economics aren't there. So I took my license again, and right now I currently own 20% of a broker dealer, and I'll be acquiring a new one in the next month or so. And we're going to change the name to FON Securities. At the same time, my goal has always been to build an RIA. When you take a look at what we've been doing, all I target are family offices, high net worth investors with alternatives. Now, if you look at a typical asset allocation model, I mean, you can argue, but let's just say on a 15% is invested in alternatives. What about the rest of the assets? Mutual funds, equities, bonds, fixed income. We have an RIA with the broker dealer, and I would love to find an existing RIA. So if any of you on this call are an existing RIA where I'm looking to get involved, I'm not looking to manage it. I just want to bring in investors and just run business development and marketing. And my goal is I would be able to build that to $1 billion to 10 billion, because we're dealing with people that can move those types of assets. And, so that's really another goal. But I'm open to anyone, listening to this, that I'm very flexible. I'm very versed, know this industry extremely well, and I'm willing to work in different capacities. So that's basically, and then we have our investment clubs. The FON investment clubs, it was something that came to me maybe a few years ago. Like you can see this event here, I think this was in Miami. Over these events, and when you do close to 1,000, I would always have one or two people pull me aside and say, do you guys do anything more intimate? We're just interested in investing. So that's when I decided, let me set up the Palm Beach Investment Club. And that just took off. Now we have an investment club for just women, arts. We have the Houston, we have the biotech, we have the cannabis. So we charge, excuse me, family offices to join these investment clubs. The reason it's a benefit is number one, you're getting access to deal flow. Number two is when you have 10 people in an investment group, you're looking at a deal that's valued at 80 million. And if all 10 of you are going to invest, you can easily get that valuation down to 70 million if you were able to act right then and there. Now, who knows? I mean, but the point is, this is why I do this. This is important here, our associations. When I started doing events in Palm Beach, I was amazed with how many family offices there were and how fragmented the industry was. I simply remember that 7 years ago, Googling the term family office, and I was absolutely stunned that only 2 or 3 websites appeared. One guy was selling lists of family offices. One guy was trying to do some events. I don't even know what the other person was doing. I'm like, how, something that just doesn't make sense. So what I did when I launched Family Office Networks, contemporaneously, I launched associations around the country. Because if you want to meet family offices in Naples, you can't do one event in Naples a year and expect to build relationships. You got to do one a month or one every 2 months. And so that's how we did it. So we were able to build relations with the local families that make up those areas. And because of that, we have such a niche of that 50 to $500 million families. So we did events for so many years all over, and so this is just a quick kind of nutshell. The few quick things, and I'll just show you a quick tour of the platform. Number one, family offices are by far the hottest industry I've seen in finance ever. And why is that? When you look at raising money, okay, and I've done it my entire career, you have retail, which I won't touch, someone putting 10,000. Then I say high net worth, someone that can put 50, 100, I won't deal with them. Then there's accredited investors, $1 million net worth. We deal with some of them. Then there is, on the highest end of the food chain, family offices. After that, it goes to institutions, and that's a whole different sales cycle. And so the reason people come to us is they're trying to raise money, but they don't want to lose their company to a VC investors. And so we're able to get better terms and just make the industry more efficient. And that's been my goal. And more family offices getting together, sharing ideas, co-investing. It has helped out tremendously. With that being said, I'd like to just take a quick gander here at the platform. Hold on a second here. Okay. So to give an idea, for 20-something years, the way I've raised money, we would do these very high-end lunches, and typically 20, 25 people would show up. Out of that, that meant 7 check writers. So we would do an event in Palm Beach, Miami, Naples, um, everywhere, Houston, Colorado, California. But the cost of traveling, the cost of entertainment, the cost of and it still worked. And then when the coronavirus came, we couldn't do these get togethers. So we switched to webinars. And again, you couldn't have paid me a year ago to watch a webinar. And I remember doing our first one about a year ago for a biotech company. And instead of 25 people responding, like 400 people responded. And out of that, there was probably 60 to 70 check writers. And it didn't cost them anything because they didn't have to travel. They didn't have to, it's so we've had just tremendous luck because we have real distribution. So I'm going to quickly just show you this and I could open it up for questions after that or so. So basically, as you log in, people want to view family offices. They want to view the ultra high net worth, philanthropy, investment clubs. So I usually start with family offices. Anyone that comes to family office networks wants to see family offices. So I did something that no one's ever done before. I put them online, but I didn't just take a list and put it online. These are personal relationships going back 10, 20 years. These people have filled out questionnaires that I have provided, asking everything from net worth, liquid net worth, average size investment, risk tolerance. And so if you're a company trying to raise money, let's just say you are a real estate company and you're looking to raise money from family offices. Well, you click on this, and these are the family offices that we know of that invest in real estate. So you can click on any of them. Some we have more information, some we don't. We always have their personal phone numbers and other things that they're doing. And so it's been very, very, we usually have the pictures and everything, very, very effective. But this by far is the most important thing on the site. It's high net worth investors. Now, I've been doing this 25 years. I have never seen anything like this. If I would have known about this 25 years ago, I would have probably closed this entire database. It's about 70,000 people. These are the high net worth. The net typically 5 to 500 million. Now, as far as I know, these are decision makers. I'm not right all the time. It's not a perfect system, but it certainly helps. So you can look up gender, you can look up age, you can look up by city, zip code. Let's say you want to find someone that has a $500 million net worth and a $100 million liquid net worth, annual income, real estate value, luxury. You want to see if someone owns an aircraft, a yacht, if they donate to philanthropy, or if they donate to a political donation. This is all very important information. So let's just try to do a search. We'll stick to maybe an area that I know. So this is Palm Beach. So, you can narrow the searches. You want to find just women, you want to find men, you want to find guys with a net worth. So you can click on anyone. This is Benjamin Bishop. His net worth, his liquid net worth, income, real estate, charitable, political, doesn't own an aircraft, doesn't own a yacht. This data is very accurate, not 100%, and nor would I ever attest to it, but so you're able to search for people literally in your zip code or zip codes that you may be doing a project. If you want just to look up financials, other people like to look up luxuries. You want to see who owns an aircraft and a yacht together. So take David Bonker from Fort Worth, Texas.
David is with Banabox, 63, 10 million, but you see he owns an aircraft, owns a yacht. So if you are in the private aviation business or the yacht, we're a perfect group to go to because we have pretty much all the high net worth people we know that own yachts and own planes. So if you're looking to service that industry, we're a perfect fit. If you continue on, this is probably the most important part. This is really where the technology begins. These are all issuers, companies that we're raising money for. Some we are, some we aren't. Now, the way this works is you can click on anyone. This one, what is this? They're raising 3 million, minimum's 250,000. So they have marketing materials, no data room, management bios, videos. Sometimes they have areas, but the key here is this blue and red. By clicking on that, you can actually invest directly into the private placement. And it's done through the software that I built and own, so that it goes through our broker dealer. Money from the investor gets wired to an escrow account, and it gets held until all sides have signed all documents, and then the escrow will release the proceeds to the issuer, as well as they'll pay my broker dealer the commission that we earned. So this invests now, like when you're trying to raise 3 million, this is a much easier way to do it. And this is the way people are doing it. So if you are a company trying to raise money, there is nothing better than to list your company on our platform. We have so many ways of getting it in front of our family offices and our ultra high net worth investors. And I'll elaborate on that. Going back to listings, philanthropy. If any of you are involved with philanthropies, you're probably having the same problem I'm having. There's no events, no money's coming in. How are they raising money? A lot of them are having a lot of trouble because they do big events. So we let family offices that have a foundation near and dear to them to list it. You click on donate, it goes right to their site, and you can make a donation. Philanthropies bring wealthy families, and that's what we care about. So then service providers. Now, I'm not sure who's on this call, but I look at there's 3 buckets of people that come to me. One is what I call, we'll say investors, family offices, high net worth, could be insurance companies, could be private banks. Then the second part are issuers, anyone trying to raise money. I don't care if it's a public company, private company, if it's anyone trying to raise money, we put them down as issuers. Then the third type are service providers, the accountants, law firms, and the insurance companies. Now, what's great about this platform is everyone needs these, not just the family offices, but all the issuers need these as well. So it's a great site if you are a service provider to list here. You know, we'll make sure you get a good return on your we'll call it well, next thing here is, you know, jewelry. So again, the whole point of adding jewelry, private aviation, yachts, so that we can send out more press releases, driving more millionaires and billionaires to the site. I am a distribution platform. We're not selling any of our own products. We look for products that have a good product and just need distribution. You know, typically what I hear from everyone I work with, what they hate the most is raising money, by far. If they just want to do what they're good at doing, and we want to do what we're good at doing. So private aviation, for example, and this will be kind of the last one I do, is we're not selling airplanes online here, and I just want to be clear on that. Okay. Excuse me. What I'm doing here is making the industry more efficient. And when I say that more efficient, what I'm simply saying is that I find that there's two groups that fly private. I have my assistant, Sarah. When she flies private, she won't have anyone else on the plane. That could be 15 seats. She has to be alone. Then there's someone like me who says, there's 15 seats. We can easily sell some. And so we connect people like that. And just to kind of just wrap this up here, the last part, and really one of the most important parts, is this message board. This message board by far is what brings us people. Every day we get close to 15, 20 messages. Now, the ones in blue are just events we're doing. It's open to anyone. Anything in green, okay, is an investor, like New York investment firm looking to invest in healthcare. The reason it's confirmed in green is because it was confirmed by someone from my staff. Now, if you're a member of our network, you get to see who all these are, as well as you get to put your own message board or message. And this will be an app, and this is what brings people back to the site. I can't express, if you have nothing to bring people back, it's not going to work out well. We have a whole philanthropy section. I don't want to get so much caught up there, but just quickly, event gallery. Again, when I said what we do is, we stick to just high-end events at polo fields, at art galleries, at people's houses. And this is, this is a better way to meet, family, especially with the polo, because I live right next to the polo fields. I rent 3 tents, so these are 3 tents of mine, and so we get just lots of people that come and they want to meet other families. And here's the bit, I'll leave it with this. What really started about 10 years ago, I started getting the first few calls of people saying, I'm moving to Florida. Do you know any? And now it's, I think, 10 or 20,000 people a day moving to Florida. And, fortunately, we have a very, very strong base of investors. So if you're looking to raise money, there's no better site than this. If you're trying to find access to deal flow, there's no better site. If you are looking to raise money for a philanthropy, no better site. So if you have any questions, I would love for you to email me. I'd be happy to go through a lot more and really customize something for each group, because sometimes 2 groups are not the same, and I'm happy to do that. So with that being said, I hopefully this is of interest. Just to finally conclude, we're at a point right now that we're going to be doing a raise. We have taken this company as pretty far, and we need help, not just financial. We need real fintech support. And I'm only interested in real people. If you're interested in either investing in us or some type of strategic partner, please get in touch with me. If you're not, I apologize. I don't have time to waste. We can catch up down the road. With that being said, I welcome the floor to questions.
Andrew, thank you so much. We are wrapping up here out of time, but thank you for joining us and for presenting for us today. To all of our attendees, my name is Lindsay. I will be following up with everyone individually to see if there is any time that you have to get in contact directly with Andrew. Again, Andrew, thank you so much. Have a great day, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye, Andrew.